Hi, my name is Jay Grams. My family has owned the Volo Auto Museum since 1960. We have a few hundred of the most exciting collector cars, and they're all for sale in one location. I personally have handpicked them from around the country. Welcome to my sales shop. Come on, let's go for a spin. Maverick would like to introduce this 1925 Marmon Model 74. This big, impressive car is a genuine classic, recognized by the Classic Car Club of America. And interestingly enough, the president of the Classic Car Club of America owned this car about 5 years ago. So right there, it tells you this is a substantial quality antique vehicle. We have owner history going back to original. There's some vintage photos. A beach club photo shoot in the 1920s. We have those pictures of the car. And we recently acquired it from the Claude O estate. We bought 25 cars out of his collection. He had a full-time mechanic that kept the cars maintained. He said that he wanted to be able to drive any car at any time. I personally just drove this car. I just put about 4 miles on it. Very interesting. Neat old car. The more I got used to it and the more comfortable I got, it was really cool. So go to volocars.com. That's where you can read all the specs, study all the pictures. You'll find price tags on all of the collector cars we have for sale, along with monthly finance payments as well. That's at volocars.com. If you enjoy the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the bell icon. That way you're notified as the new ones are posted. But for right now, join us. Let's go for a spin. Okay, so underneath the car, just real nice and clean. Not much to talk about. You got good solid wood floors. The chassis and the components are all nice and clean. There isn't a bolt that looks like you couldn't take it off with a wrench. In other words, it's not all caked up and greasy and rusted. So very nice, clean, solid underside. Big drum brakes, big rear end housing in the car. It's a big car. It's an impressive car. This competed with the Cadillac and Packard. This was a luxurious car. It was an expensive car back then. The Model T had about 20 horsepower. This has 74 horsepower. Big 20-inch artillery wheels. Dual spares. You got to remember, back then they didn't have paved roads. The trip from Chicago to where we are at right now is an hour drive. It would be an all-day adventure back then. And people did come from Chicago up here to the Great Lakes to spend the weekend, so that's why I know it took a day to get here. I've read about it. So anyway, big, long, 5-passenger touring. They made 120 of them. This is the only one known to exist in the world. It was originally bought in California by a gentleman that owned department stores. He passed away. His son took ownership of the car. At some point, the transmission broke, and it got parked in their property on a like an off building on their property, and supposedly was parked for many, many years. It was restored back in the 60s, so the car is in really wonderful shape. There is some checking in the paint because of age, but it's a quality car. So Carroll Jensen, the president of the Classic Car Club of America, she purchased the car in 2017, the first time it left California. She lives up here in Wisconsin. And then in 2020, Claude bought the car and made it part of his collection, and we just purchased it from his estate. So we do have the history of the car, which is pretty interesting on a car this old. It has 59,900 original miles on the car. The Marmon was known for the use of aluminum. The entire body is aluminum. There's steel fenders, but the whole body, the hood, is aluminum. They invented the rear view mirror. They're given credit for that. So anyway, it's got the convertible top. I just put it up. I think it looks handsome with the top up. It's in excellent shape. 2 people easily fold the top up. The old cars use side curtain windows. There's 2 windows in the bag, and then there's a third one started. I think someone was making windows for this car. So it does not have a complete set of side curtains. If you're going to be driving it in the rain, I guess you'll need to have some made, but more than likely, you're never going to use them. So the convertible top is excellent. You have these beautiful beveled wing windows. And if you notice, this is not chrome, this is nickel. They were using nickel at that time period. It actually looks really nice. It has a nice, rich, classy look. The windshield's a two-piece windshield that will open up, let fresh air in. Look at the grill. I'm 6 foot tall. That's got to be 4.5, 5 foot tall right there. Beautifully polished nickel grill. It's in excellent shape. It says Marmon right in the motometer radiator cap. It tells you there's a thermometer from inside the car. You can see the temperature of the car, and it was working. It started to go up as we were driving. You have the beautiful nickel headlamps with the glass lenses. The car is straight. The metal fenders, when it was restored, it was done right. This is not a lumpy, wavy, generic restoration. The body is excellent. Again, the paint is flaking in places. There's cracking in the paint because of age, but overall smooth, shiny, presents itself really well. Obviously, it's a three-tone combination. It's a red pinstripe, a black belt line. You have dual spares with matching covers that match the top. The bumpers. The light is really cool. It says stop. It has I think that's a reverse light. Maybe it's not. It's just a white light. The artillery wheels are in excellent shape. Look at the varnished spokes. Look at the center caps, the pinstripe. Excellent shape. Tires look to be in excellent shape. It's a wood structure back then in these cars, and it's solid. Doors don't sag. I lifted up the carpet. The wood floors are excellent. Long running boards. I think that's a linoleum that just came out back then at that time. So really, really cool, massive, impressive old car here. Being that it's genuine classic, it can participate in the Classic Car Club of America events and tours and caravans that they have. So now, we've seen the outside, let's check it out inside. So we don't have a trunk to look in, but I'd like to show this tail light. It says Marmon on top, you got the Marmon plaque. It says stop right in the glass. I'm not sure what the three different lights are for. There were no turn signals, and I said reverse light. They didn't have reverse lights back then, so I'm not sure what all that is for, and the license plate light would be underneath it. The wheels are beautiful. I mean, it's just impressive to look at. Under the fenders are clean. The bolts are new. So it's a 5-passenger. They would consider 3 people being able to sit in the back. This is genuine leather upholstery. I actually lifted the seat out and pulled the piece back. It is genuine leather. These straps you see here, look at our pictures on our website. That's for the boot. When the top's folded down, there's a really nice fitting boot that goes on there. The leather has this texture, which matches the top and the tire covers. The doors have these big flaps that open up. You have a little bit of storage in there. This is your blanket rack. There's no heat. You drove these cars all year round back then, and you'd have a big heavy blanket there you'd put around yourself. It's an upper scale car, so it has this nice footrest, 2-position. Carpet's real nice. Door panels are nice. All nickel trim inside and out. Door shuts beautifully. Now this compartment is supposed to have a lock, so I'm assuming they lost the key. Someone had to remove the lock. It's not there anymore. This is where you'd keep your tools. And there are starting instructions. Whoever buys the car, it tells you how to operate it right there. So the front seat's real nice. You got a wood steering wheel, all nickel controls, all the levers, knobs, everything's real nice. The instruments work except for the clock. But the gas gauge, oil pressure, temperature, speedometer, that works. And I don't know if you know what this is. Cloth wrapped wire. This is a cigarette lighter. I'm sure somehow it turns on when you pull it out. That's a cigarette lighter. And down on the floor, you got the Marmon tags way down here. And everything's cool down here. Locking shifter. I guess you would lock it so no one would steal your car. Here's the beveled mirror. Again, they were given credit for inventing the rear view mirror. Now look how big that engine is. It's actually a 350 cubic inch. 5.7 liter 6-cylinder, makes 75 horsepower. We'll have the guys wipe it down. There's water spots. I think they forgot to wipe it down before pulling it in here. But the motor looks very fresh. Look at the valve cover, the gasket, the spark plugs, the distributor. Everything looks very nice. The water pump looks clean and fresh. Look at the belt, the original belt that they use. If you want to come around the other side, we'll catch a glimpse of that as well. The wiring looks real nice in the car. There's your intake manifold, and there's your exhaust manifold, and there's the carburetor. This does have electric start. You do not have to get out and crank it. And very, very well restored 50 years ago, but it's holding up really well, aside from some checking in the paint. So there you have it. I just put the boot and the side windows, and there's an extra can of touch-up paint in there. I read about this car. It says it'll do 55 miles an hour. So I just took it around the block. I just put a few miles on it. The more I got used to it, the more comfortable I became. It's a nice car to go out on a Sunday morning, some back roads. I certainly wouldn't take this out in a super hot day in traffic and that sort of thing, just because of what it is. It doesn't have turn signals. You don't want to be on a busy road. And when I opened the hood, I thought, wow, is that light? It's because it's aluminum. But anyway, driving it was fun. I think I'll drive it again. You double clutch it to shift it. At first I was kind of grinding them. I got it down where it shifts right into gears. It steered and drove actually very well, considering it's a 1925 car. But I think one Sunday morning I might go for driving this, unless someone beats me to it and buys it before I have time to do that. Go to Volo Cars. Lots of interesting information, lots of interesting pictures. This was at some concourse event. We have photos of it out on the show grounds. I don't know when or where that was, but I found the pictures online. Go to volocars.com, talk to the salesman. They'll help answer your questions. They can help get this delivered to your driveway. They can help you with the financing at volocars.com. If you enjoy the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the bell icon. You'll be notified as the new ones are posted. Thanks for watching.